Elena Rybakina stepped away from the 2025 tennis season with a sense of achievement written quietly across her performance. Yet hidden beneath the surface of her success was a storyline shaped by fatigue, physical pain, and constant internal battles that never fully made it onto the scoreboard. Results showed a player who stood tall among the elite, finishing the year ranked fifth in the world, but reality painted a more complex portrait of endurance, recovery, frustration, and determination that became the backbone of her journey. Momentum began to shift late in the season, when Rybakina found her best rhythm and produced a powerful surge toward qualification for the prestigious WTA Finals. Qualification did not arrive easily or predictably, arriving only after a stunning title run at the Ningbo Open, where her confidence built point by point and match by match. Pressure followed her into every rally, knowing that one mistake could cost her place among the season's best, yet composure carried her through. Arrival at the WTA Finals in Saudi Arabia marked a turning point that few could have confidently predicted. Dominance became the defining theme of that week, as Rybakina moved through the tournament without dropping a single match. Wins did not come against minor opponents, but instead against the very best in the world. Victory over world number 2 Iga Swiatek during the group stage sent shockwaves through the draw, while defeat of world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka in the final sealed one of the most commanding title runs of the season. Prize money followed success, but financial reward was never the real headline. A record-breaking $5.235 million from the finals elevated her total season earnings to $8,456,632 and brought with it the maximum bonus of 1,500 valuable ranking points. Numbers reflected status, but personal satisfaction grew from knowing that resilience had paid off when it mattered most. Spring brought another memorable chapter when Rybakina claimed the title at the Internationaux de Strasbourg, showcasing her ability to dominate on clay and proving that her game could adapt across surfaces. That victory became a rare bright spot among the Grand Slam tournaments, where progress often stopped earlier than dreamt. Reaching fourth round at the Australian Open ended in disappointment after defeat to Madison Keys, a loss that concealed deeper physical challenges. Back pain had already begun to tighten its grip during that early part of the season, arriving without warning and creating stiffness that traveled through every movement. Efforts to manage the issue focused on carefully structured exercises and immediate intervention, preventing the injury from spiraling into something far more dangerous. Relief came quickly enough for the tour to continue, but the body started sending warnings that could not be ignored. Interview insights with Sportheilenet.kz offered a glimpse behind the curtain, revealing that the back problem was only a small part of a much greater struggle. Greater concern settled around her legs, which fluctuated unpredictably between strength and weakness. Muscles sometimes felt responsive and stable, yet other days brought discomfort that slowed movement and limited fluidity. This push and pull created internal tension, since solutions remained slow and demanded patience. Recovery routines became a daily necessity rather than an optional luxury. Ice baths, physiotherapy, stretching sessions, and customized gym work became as essential as racket practice. Acceptance of a long timeline for healing weighed heavily, knowing that no quick fix existed. Understanding grew that certain physical issues could not be rushed, no matter how strong the desire to return to peak condition. Late in the year brought another setback in the form of shoulder discomfort, an ache caused not by a single traumatic moment, but by relentless repetition. Heavy tournament scheduling, high serving volumes, and the physical stress of constant travel combined to overload the joint. Thankfully, this injury remained manageable. Time away from competition allowed inflammation to subside, with rest proving more powerful than invasive medical procedures. Confidence in her team's management grew through these difficult moments. Planning, monitoring, and preventative care prevented the worst-case scenarios of surgery or extended layoffs. Gratitude settled in knowing that serious, career-threatening injuries had been avoided despite the weight of the calendar and the intensity of professional demands. Rest officially began as the season closed, but the pause remained short-lived. Barely 3 weeks passed before Rybakina returned to the practice courts, already beginning preparations for the challenges of the coming year. Off-season for most athletes often means distance from the sport, but for an elite competitor, it becomes a quieter, more focused phase of work. Re-evaluation of her schedule led to a difficult but mature decision. Participation in the World Tennis League exhibition event in India had initially been planned, yet eventually withdrawn. Realization arrived that the body demanded more time. Jumping straight into match play in mid-December after such a long season felt rushed, and protecting long-term health took priority over immediate exposure. Dubai became the chosen base for an extended training block. 4 weeks of structured preparation, physical strengthening, and technical refinement created a bridge toward the new season. Controlled environments, carefully designed sessions, and consistent routines allowed the body to adapt slowly instead of being shocked back into competition. Plans stretched beyond training alone. An exhibition tournament in China was added to maintain match rhythm without overwhelming pressure. Geographical convenience also shaped the roadmap, creating a smoother transition toward the Australian swing of events. Thoughtful scheduling replaced chaos, marking a more strategic approach to career longevity. Brisbane awaited as the official launchpad back in a full competition mode, serving as a final checkpoint before the Australian Open. Memories of earlier struggles in Melbourne lingered, but lessons learned from pain and recovery began to build a different type of confidence. Preparation now focused less on rushing results and more on arriving physically whole and mentally steady. Behind the titles, rankings, and prize money existed a narrative of endurance that fans rarely witness. Private strength surfaced in quiet gym sessions, silent treatment rooms, and long recovery mornings. Rybakina's calm public demeanor disguised a relentless will to push through difficulties without complaint. Progress never followed a straight path. Every tournament brought uncertainty. Every physical signal demanded interpretation, and every decision carried consequences. Success at the WTA Finals did not erase pain experienced earlier in the season, but instead stood as proof that persistence could coexist with limitation. Support systems played a vital role through medical staff, coaches, and recovery specialists who guided each adjustment. Communication remained open, ensuring that warnings were heard before turning into disasters. Trust in this network made it possible to walk the fine line between pushing performance and protecting health. Mental resilience began to hold just as much importance as physical conditioning. Staying focused during times of injury required accepting temporary setbacks without losing sight of long-term dreams. Confidence had to be rebuilt not only in strokes and movement, but also in the body itself. Motivation for the upcoming season started to shape itself around one simple desire: arriving stronger, healthier, and more consistent. Goals shifted subtly from chasing trophies alone to maintaining sustainable excellence. Awareness grew that greatness demanded patience just as much as power. Fans who watched only the matches witnessed forceful serves, calm expressions, and smooth victories. Few could see the hours of invisible labor that went into holding everything together. Every moment of discomfort transformed into a silent test of character. Looking back at 2025 revealed a year that balanced triumph with vulnerability. World number 5 represented a position earned through grit rather than ease. Titles earned in pressure moments revealed a champion who had learned to endure more than simply dominate. Looking ahead toward 2026 created a mixture of hope and realism. Training in Dubai laid the foundation, while exhibitions and warm-up events offered space to recalibrate without overload. Confidence grew not from perfection, but from the knowledge that adversity had already been confronted and survived. Elena Rybakina's journey through the season revealed that strength often lives in restraint, patience often replaces urgency, and healing sometimes matters more than immediate glory. What emerged from this chapter was not only a world-class player, but a more seasoned competitor ready to protect both her ambitions and her body as she stepped toward the future.